And a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the Heidelberg family across Australia and across the world. It is live and exclusive coverage of this round 3 Victorian NPL match between the Dandenong Thunder and the Heidelberg Warriors. And baby, it is hot in the city tonight. In Melbourne, it's 7 p.m. or thereabouts, Australian Eastern Standard Time. It is into autumn, but it's also 34 degrees as we go to air tonight. John Fodinos and yours truly, Greg Blake, calling all the action from the George Andrews Reserve in this reversed fixture. In round 3, it was meant to be played at headquarters, Olympic Village. They've had to reverse the fixture, so Dandenong Thunder become the host club. Jay Fott, good evening to you. Hot enough for you, buddy?
Good evening, yes. It's very hot and we're looking right into the sun for the next half hour or so, Greg. But as you said, mid-30s, so more like a summer day. But hopefully it'll cool down by midway through the first half and we'll be able to see what we're doing out there.
It is, we've called, Jay Fott, you and I have called some games in inclement conditions, but this is a tough one tonight. But if the boys can tough it out on the paddock, we can tough it out up here. Thanks to Windsor Management Insurance Brokers, bringing you all the action. Great supporters of HUFC TV, live action from down here in the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne tonight. And we had a chat in the car, Jay Fott, you and I. You're kind enough to, chauffeur me down here this evening. It's not Dandenong Thunder, newly promoted. They're not travelling well. It's been a galling start to the season, but I don't know, just get the feeling they'll be up for this one.
Oh, certainly. You'd think if there's any pride in that squad out there, they'll certainly give the Burgers a good run. The Burgers will be cherry ripe after a week off, so they haven't had a game for a fortnight, but no change in the starting lineup, Greg. So it shows obviously the boys are quite settled, and it'll be Dandenong to kick us off, going to the right of your screen.
So Dandenong Thunder in the hoops, newly promoted, against Heidelberg, of course, in the traditional yellow and black. Heidelberg, after that unprecedented success of last year, Gallinopoulos gallops through the gap. Patient. Godfrey Okello. Okello goes against Wilkins. Easily picked off by the champ. So, Dandenong Thunder ball deep in their back half. We've played 3.5 minutes, no score. Windsor Management Insurance Brokers. Blakey and Jay Fott in the evening sunlight, looking right into the sun. Cahill, squeezed it through the gap. Cahill for Zara, and then they'll get the corner. The claims for a handball.
Offside ball, I think.
Offside. Wasn't that exquisite by Cahill to thread the needle then for Zara?
In fact, it was Reuben Way, Greg.
Reuben Way, excuse me.
But certainly there are some early danger signs for Dandenong. And we know players like Reuben Way and Josh Wilkins on the other side like to get forward.
That was Zara back for Petrie for Reuben Way. Headed clear by Vargas. Been a reasonably energetic start to this first half despite the heat. Not for us, of course, Jay Fott. We're sitting here just barely hoping to survive. Oops, that's so awkward. Barnes, great stop by the hyphenator. Barnes was on from the error. And the hyphenator, Chris Theodoridis Petropoulos, was the equal of it. So danger for Heidelberg early.
Yeah, that time Luke Wells with a rare error. The header not quite meeting its mark. And Chris Theodoridis spared the blushes that time.
JW against Okello.
And interestingly, in the opening round, Chris Theodoridis was the only keeper in the NPL that kept a clean sheet. So that's probably an example of why.
Gallinopoulos, nowhere to go. Barnes hooks the left foot in, danger.
Stephen Pace there ahead of Stan McCatherine, just doing his usual job with the plomb.
Zara away from traffic, just brought to ground by Chris Dibb. And it will be a free kick to Heidelberg.
Just a nice rasp across the thigh there.
17 minutes away. Windsor Management Insurance Brokers bringing you all the action from Dandenong Thunder tonight. It's a 0-0 game, round 3 of the Victorian NPL. And the home side, after a couple of disappointing results in the opening rounds, have bought their A game against Heidelberg tonight. Petrie. I just want to remind everybody, it's still bloody hot here in Melbourne. Petrie goes far post, and in the end, glancing
off Gallinopoulos, it looked like that time, Greg.
Stephen Pace just caresses it back for Chris Theodorides Petropoulos, who's yet to concede a goal in this NPL season. Don't forget, Heidelberg a game behind the rest of the competition because last week's home fixture against Bulleen has been postponed. We'll give you an update on that.
Chavo.
Good ball, Chavo. He was just a little bit premature, Alex Chavo. It was a good opportunity.
They swept the ball downfield, Greg, that time, and Chavo got into a really great position that time. And as the ball bobbled up, he just struck it well over the bar.
Bench side for Heidelberg tonight, the outfielders, Les Dumbalis, the little cat, Andrew Katanas. Costa Kanakaras back from injury. And Mathang. Yes. That's Mathang. Zara just edged his way into the contest. Cahill to goal. And Motorafi out of play. Shadow the ball back for the hyphenator. Restarting from the... What end of the ground is that? The scoreboard end, Adelaide.
Yeah.
Where's the city from here? Where's Melbourne from here?
City's northwest.
Okay, I get you. Oh, that was... and, you know, this...
probably sounded worse than what it was, but Christopher Dibb went in rather recklessly that time.
Look, there is a theme, though, here, Jay Fott. There is a theme. Pulled the ground back for Zara. Ellis running away from goal. Outside runner is JW. Can't edge his way past Okello. There is a theme. There is a theme. This would be, you know, we saw in the Charity Shield and we saw at Port. We're seeing here tonight, the Heidelberg players have not only been challenged physically, but they've been challenged physically to the extent that, you know, when we heard the coach talk, and the coach was talking about this. This is part of the lesson here is, can they keep their head and keep their temper under this sort of...
That's the key, Greg, is physically... You know that's coming, but how do you handle that mentally and emotionally?
For Okello. Wrestling match with Josh Wilkins. Okello lost about 20 metres and then gave the ball away.
Well, Zara's done a hamstring, I reckon.
Oh dear. Well, don't call it too early because your medical training extends to what? Exactly. Well, we won't...
A miraculous recovery.
I was just going to say, it'd be the mildest hamstring in the history of them. Oh, and I could be quite wrong. One of us has mozzed that. So Adrian Zara's down.
You touch a cramp, Greg.
I was going to say, he was walking, he looked... How
many guesses do I get?
Oh, look, several. I mean, the important thing about you, Jay Fott, is nobody listens anyway.
Earnest in trying, at least.
So, Pace, Petrie. Drags it in then. Goes outside to Harry Noon. Stutter step by Bad Noon Rising. Through traffic, Harry Noon.
So a one-man battle out there.
Noon against Elmazovsky. And finally it's a Heidelberg ball from the sideline. It was the Harry Noon show.
Zara looks like he might be right to come back on.
So let's go again and say that premature hamstring call was in fact premature.
Yeah, went early with that premature call, didn't we?
I think what we may do in future is actually just give it a few minutes for the drama to unfold and then make a call.
Have we got the 7-minute bleep function, maybe?
It'll be Jade. It's poor dear Jay Fott and yours truly, Greg Blake on deck. 0-0, JW, throw, distance, goalkeeper comes from behind, punch. Oh, Harry Noon.
Oh, cheeky Harry.
Well, it was on because the goalkeeper was off his line and Harry just got the instep to it. The idea was absolutely spot on. The accuracy was not quite so.
Just keep an eye on Adrian Zara, and in fact a lot of the players this evening. One of the things that can happen is players might cramp up towards the latter stages of each half.
And it is the latter stages of the first half. We're in the shadows of half-time. Around about 6 left in regulation, thanks to Windsor management. Scoreless game. Motoraffi, he's been good so far. Motoraffi backed himself to get through the tiniest of gaps. Ruben Way, detour sign. Oh, Ruben, no, out of play. So I can't see.
He's coming off, Greg. Zara will be
So
substituted.
possibly precautionary, do you think?
He's feeling the back of the hamstring.
Yeah,
definitely.
he is. So maybe the prognostication was correct in the first. What we need to do is just let it. But he is.
He looked very ginger.
He really is. Yeah, and he certainly had his hand to his right hamstring. So to throw in, Motoraffi. Barnes, well, he was just too powerful for his own good then, was Brandon Barnes.
Yeah, Modafari there looking for the return ball and just couldn't find the man.
George Andrews reserve. Just looking ahead once again, don't forget 3 o'clock tomorrow, HUFC TV action. All the action, WNPL round 3. And that is Heidelberg in against Box Hill United. Up and under away by Bowles. And don't forget, every Tuesday night at 6, it's the weekend wrap on the Book of Face, HUSC TV, covering all Heidelberg games. As Sean Ellis, the forlorn chase as the ball eludes him down over the line. And then, of course, Thursday nights at 7:30, brought to you once by Windsor Management Insurance Brokers. It is the weekend pump.
All things Heidelberg that night, brought to us by Windsor Management Insurance Brokers.
All things Heidelberg every week.
Every week.
Yeah, I know. You did a really. You're really trying hard.
Might get it right by round 12.
So if you're a HUFC tower, there's the first half. Hey, if you're a HUFC TV watcher, we've got game on at the George Andrews tonight on this Saturday night round 3 action of the NPL here in Victoria. Who'd have thunk it? Half-time score, Dandenong Thunder 0, Heidelberg United, the Warriors 0, and they're every bit worth their half-time 0-0 scoreline, the home side, JFOT. An awkward transition since promotion. They've 2 straight defeats last week, 9-0 against South Melbourne. We'll get ready for the second half action. Heidelberg kicking to the right of screen down toward the scoreboard or city end of the George Andrews reserve. And it's a couple of minor concerns for Heidelberg. Both the scoreline and, as you mentioned, that what we would suggest is a mild hamstring for Adrian Zara. Shawnee Ellis. He's got an outside supporter in JW. Doesn't quite have the legs to get around Okello.
So little cat on the ball, Greg.
It is. Little cat stabs at that one. Turned over. And a double turnover. Harry Noon got it by surprise. The little cat hits Ellis. Ellis onto his favoured left. Great push away by the goalkeeper, McLaren.
He split the difference there just. Harry Noon couldn't get there on the follow-up with a wonderful shot and wonderful save by McLaren that time.
As always, Ellis was silk, but the goalkeeper was equal to the task. Big stop from Fraser McLaren. Early going, second half. Windsor Management Insurance Brokers, HUFC TV, JFOT, Blakey live across the globe tonight. It's part of our 2018 season coverage. Ellis for Noon drives towards the line, and it takes a cannon in the end into the side net. International Women's Day, purple shoelaces, all the players tonight. And the big fella Barnes, the broad-chested Barnes, inside the penalty area.
Great ball
Square
in.
ball in. And Sammy Catherine.
Tried the cheeky back heel,
He
but
did, didn't he?
But that's where they've been dangerous all night, when they've managed to get Barnes free and almost breaking through a Dandenong.
Dandenong Thunder and Heidelberg. Cornered deep. Stephen Pace got the header away. Barnes faced the double team. Edged it for Markellis. Danger again for Heidelberg. Glancing header way wide of the mark by Theo Markellis, but danger again.
Yeah, well played that
Dandenong Thunder are bringing some stuff tonight to this game. They really are. Very impressive unit, the Hoops of the Thunder. At the peninsular end of the ground, I believe it's
the peninsular end.
Peninsular end.
We've been told it's only 15 minutes to the nearest beach.
Petrie for Cahill. Vargas was with him, and Tommy Cahill not particularly enamoured with the decision. Elmazowski, the skipper. JW. There was a man on. Got back to the hyphen, who stumbles as he tried to clear it. Catherine into traffic, goes to ground, no free kick, good call by the referee. Katanos, oh, that was trouble. Katanos, Markellis, and the hyphenator says not on my watch.
They almost were the architects.
Markellis was through, great stop by the hyphenator, break on by Heidelberg, well, only that far. So, the hero again, Chris Theodoridis Petropoulos, that time from Theo Markellis. As the home side.
Yeah, the great spell by Dandenong.
Well, it's been punch and counter punch. Heidelberg had a good 5-minute period, and now Thunder are threatening. Thunder in the skies. Maybe there's a storm on the way. Apparently I've just won a Samsung television. My iPhone just told me I won a television, J4.
Congratulations. Be able to watch all the action of HUFC TV.
On HUFC TV. Petrie scampers over the half line. The little cat driving run, shoulders down, checked, ball far post, not quite big enough for Ellis. Harry Noon is the man down, and he will tease and taunt and wait. And then launch a left footer, high and long, no one there for Heidelberg. And in the end, a glancing header clear by Moderefri. He didn't have much spatial awareness then. Petrie, right foot corner, near post. Oh, glancing header from Stephen Pace, who scored here. He scored 2 here last time.
At the Village.
I was at the Village, well, thanks, there was no need to actually correct me, because it's all about the theatrics, J-Font. We're an hour old here at the George Andrews, and we've still got goose eggs on the illuminated scoreboard at the city end of this lovely little sports stadium. Angled back for Markellis and Stephen Pace with aplomb. And drops it onto the scampering feet of Jack Petrie. Outside ball for Katanos. Katanos, that turn of speed, far post. Harry Noon.
I was looking for Ellis, but couldn't angle the header down.
Given straight back to Heidelberg. JW will go right-left, and it'll be the cat again. Andrew Katanos into the game because of the injury to Adrian Zara. Katanos! Well, he launched one, and it was on a frozen rope, but just wide of the far post.
Yeah, best effort on goal for Heidelberg that time. Katanos picking up the long ball from Josh Wilkins, cutting inside, and the shot flashing just past the post, Greg.
So we saw it at the city end, the scoreboard end from Heidelberg early in the second half, and then Dandenong Thunder returning the fire. Now Heidelberg again, launching some challenges in a knife's edge scoreless game. Ellis had his pocket picked in the end by Vargas. Lofted ball, Barnes, Thunder's after it. The hyphenator had to take a gamble. He had to toss a coin. And he got away with it.
Yeah, did well in the end.
Petrie up the middle for Sean Ellis. Left foot, rocket!
There it is.
That is an absolute
special goal.
ripper from Shawnee Ellis. He needed half a chance on that lethal left foot. He fired it in. The goalkeeper appeared to get a touch to it,
Yeah, just
but
got
it
a
wasn't. A
hand.
touch was not enough. Sean Ellis makes it 1-0 with an absolute ripper.
Well, he got the ball from the pass there and really made a half a yard of space. And you knew what was on his mind, Greg. As soon as he picked that ball up, he's going to line up the shot. And as good as McLaren's right hand was, couldn't keep the ball out, and it ricochets in off the post. And the Burgers take the lead.
That is a heartbreaker for Dandenong Thunder now. They face a 1-goal deficit going into the final quarter hour. Sean Ellis, okay, story of the goal-scoring season.
Sean Ellis with both goals so far.
At Port Melbourne.
In the league, that is, yeah.
At Port Melbourne with a goal from a corner kick, and now here tonight at the George Andrews Reserve. A Sean Ellis left foot rifle special to give Heidelberg a lead. Harry Noon, Shawnee Ellis. His wrong foot is his right foot. He'll try and get the left angle. Not that time, Sean Ellis. Harry Noon, gentle. Calls for handball, nothing doing. JW powers the headed back. Harry Noon. Well, an adrenaline rush for Heidelberg right now. They've got the slender 1-0 lead on HFC TV. The champ.
You can see again the Dandenong Thunder crowding out Heidelberg and forcing them to go back. A lovely run.
And Cahill tried to run the gauntlet, got past one, not the second. Petrie, up and under. The little cat against Vargas. The latter wins out. Vargas. A shove on Stephen Pace.
Yeah, again, good experience there. There's a whistle.
And that is all she wrote on a
well, it was just
ripping
about
night.
4 minutes, wasn't it, Greg?
It was 4 minutes. A ripping night here at the George Andrews Reserve here in Dandenong. In the end, the final score, thanks to Windsor Management Insurance Brokers, it is Dandenong Thunder 0, Heidelberg Warriors 1. The only goal of the game was the only goal you'd want in a 1-goal game, and that was an absolute perler from Silk, Shawnee Ellis on 68 minutes.